Welcome back in this video. So we are going to discuss about the remaining some points related to the flight adaptations in birds. So in case of birds, the flight adaptations shows some of the peculiar characteristics. So we are discussing some remaining characteristics of the bird adaptations, which is particularly useful for the birds for their aerial mode of life particularly. So the about now about the endoskeleton. The endoskeleton, the fusion of the bones in case of birds, the fusion of bones built with the smallest amount of material, built with the smallest amount of material, combine the strength with lightness. The second point related to the endoskeleton, most of the bones are pneumatic. Most of the bones of the birds are pneumatic, that is hollow bones and filled with air sac. Some of the bones having the air sac instead of bone marrow. So there were no bone marrow in the bones of the birds. That is, the birds' bones are pneumatic, and some large bones related or near to that respiratory system towards the lungs having the air sacs in that particular bones. Skull bones are light and most of them firmly fused together. Skull bones are light and most of them firmly fused together. Initiate process of thoracic ribs. Thoracic ribs helps in producing compactness necessary for flight by concentrating the mass. The rigidity of the dorsal part of vertebral column due to fusion of the vertebrae provides a firm fulcrum for the action of the wings. The heterocellus vertebrae confer great flexibility and all birds can move their neck through 180 degree, which helps in preening feathers in all parts of the body and for food collection. Due to the movement of this neck about 180 degree, they can some of the birds can that particular process useful for the food collection and preening of feathers in all parts of the body. The shortening of the caudal vertebrae, shortening of the caudal vertebrae and formation of pygostyle has assisted stability in the air. Next, some characteristics about the endoskeleton. The fusion of pelvic with syncacrum provides firm attachment to the legs. Synsacrum, the fusion of pelvis with syncacrum provides firm attachment to the legs, support the weight of the body when the bird is walking, and counteract the effect of shock as the bird alight. The absence of a midventral symphysis of pubis and ischia results in a more posterior displacement of the viscera and shifting the center of the gravity of the body nearer to the hind legs. This also permits laying of large eggs with calcareous cells. The fusion of distal tarsals with the metatarsals helps to strengthen the legs for bipedal gait, for the bipedal movement. The sternum is greatly expanded and bears large midventral ridge, or which is called as skill, for the attachment of major flight muscles in flying birds, while it is without a kill in running birds like ostrich. So these are some flight adaptations related to the endoskeleton. Next, about the digestive system. So the bird, when we consider the digestive system of the bird, the rate of metabolism is very high in case of birds. Food requirements, food requirements are great and digestion is rapid. So that birds can select high caloric value food with a minimum indigestible waste, so that the digestive system is compact but effective. The rectum is short because the fecal matter is small. As the flying animals cannot afford to be weighed down with any excess fecal luggage. It is got right at once. So there were little fecal matter is or waste material is produced. Next, about the respiratory system. We are discussing about the flight adaptation of the bird, respiratory system. So, the inelastic lungs of birds are supplemented by a remarkable system of air sacs. There are many air sacs attached with the lungs, which grow out from lungs and occupy all the available space between internal organs. Even some air sacs extended to the cavities of hollow bones. Some of the air sacs extended in the hollow bones. The air sacs secure more perfect aeration of lungs and help in internal respiration, thus helping in the regulation of the body temperature. The avian lungs are completely emptied with each breath, there being no residual air remaining, so that respiration is more effectively accomplished. While flying, the movement at the time of flying, the movement of the wings contribute to respiration by compressing and dilating the air sacs, and thus the bird breathes more easily when in flight than at other times. Then about the next flight adaptation, that is warm bloodedness. Birds are warm blooded. They can maintain their body temperature according to the changing environmental temperature. The perfect aeration of blood is responsible for the high temperature of body, about 40 to 46 degrees Celsius, which is necessity for flight requiring a great output of energy over a long period. Next one about the circulatory system. Rapid metabolism and warm-bloodedness require a large oxygen supply and an efficient circulatory system. Accordingly, the avian heart is relatively large and completely divided into four chambers. They have four-chambered heart. It functions very efficiently with a double circulation of blood. The high proportion of hemoglobin present in the red blood corpuscles of avian blood is also responsible for its quick and perfect aeration. Next characteristics, next adaptation, that is uricotelic excretion. Birds do not have urinary bladder. Birds do not have urinary bladder. The water of the excretory fluid is reabsorbed in the urinary tubules of kidney and in the cloaca. The formation of a semi-solid excreta, chiefly containing insoluble uric acid. They can excrete uric acid. That is, they are uricotelic organism. These features help in reducing the unnecessary weight of the body. Next one, adaptation, brain and sense organ. The eyes and optic lobes are correspond to the great development of sight in case of bird. The eyes occupy a large portion of the head, and both eyes together are often heavier than the brain. The much developed and convoluted cerebellum indicates the delicate sense of equilibrium and the great power of muscular coordination belonging to birds. So, here the eyes are well developed in case of birds. And the last one adaptation, that is the single ovary. Presence of a single ovary in the female of the left side in case of female bird leads to reduction of weight, which is so essential for flight. So these are some of the main flight adaptations which are found in case of birds.